So, here we go. Heartbreak is a hard thing to take. Almost impossible to swallow, especially if your throat is swollen from all the daily swallowing. He doesn't love you. That won't change. Healing requires a time of grief, but you can't stop there by any means. You have to cry and yell and pack up everything that reminds you of him and send it with your best friend. So she can keep it in her closet, and yes, you even have to dig up his roses, but the next day, you eat, take a shower, drink coffee, and you pray. You do your eyebrows, your hair, your face, and you pray. You put on a dress, grab some ice cream with your friend, and you pray. Listen to breakup songs, scream at him from miles away, and you pray. Get a little giddy when he texts you, let your friend proofread everything you say, and you pray. Set up an appointment to cut your hair because he loves it long, but you no longer care, and you pray. Thanks. Awesome. So I didn't put this in my speech before, my announcement speech, because I didn't think it was going to apply, but it applies, so now I have to say it, which is cool. In this situation, because Emily was covering Johanna's poem, Johanna still gets to read, because Emily wasn't on the list. So she just needed poems to read, so she read Johanna's poem, and now Johanna's reading, because Johanna's a poet, and she wants to read.
Sorry.
Cool. So, no, you're cool, because you didn't have a turn, so you get a turn too. We're all equals here. You get a turn, she gets a turn, you get a turn, you get a turn, you get a turn, everybody gets a turn! Final for a moment. None of my poems have titles, so sorry about it. Sometimes sadness is a bully from childhood, hitting us when we are our most innocent. Sometimes sadness is respiratory distress, holding our breath when we are our most exerted. Sometimes sadness is an angry hornet, stinging us when we least expect it. That was me the other day.
Wow.
Almost 18 years of never being stung, and then I was stung on the knee for no reason. Anyways, sometimes sadness is sorry, apologizing for meaning it but regretting it. Sometimes sadness is abandonment, leaving when we had been so sure of forever. Sometimes sadness is footprints, wandering for a place to provide shelter. Sometimes sadness is okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I kind of have ADHD, so I cannot sit in the same spot. I have to keep moving. Anyway, it happens. And also the 4 cups of coffee might have influenced my moving a lot. Without further ado, guys, here's the thing. I'm a professional poet, okay? I'm an MC. I am an author. I cannot speak. I promise. I cannot verbulate words. And I make up words, okay? We already talked about this. I already make up words. Verbulate's a word now. Anyway, Objectia, the silent but deadly Nick.
Yeah.
That's an official title, by the way. Okay.
Is she new?
Yes. I'm new to San Marcos.
Yay! Where you from?
Complicated question. I'm a third culture kid. I'm from Japan.
Yay!
All right. So I actually wrote this song. I wrote a song. I don't know if you guys want me to sing it or say it. Sing it?
Both.
Both?
Both.
Can I borrow a guitar?
No.
Next month.
All right. I'm going to read it then.
Yeah.
All right. It's funny. The poem that Emily just wrote, that Emily read, that was written by Johanna. We were in the same situation. With the same person.
Oh my God.
What?
You made me laugh, you made me happy. Butterflies got me sappy. Could have loved you, but we know for love it takes two. Honey, go after her. You were never mine from the start. Don't worry about me, I'll find a new life and a new start. Real life plot twist.
Yeah.
She wrote a book called Winter Girl, and you didn't expand on the title, and I wanted her to expand. So I wrote an expansion for the poem. Winter Girl. I am winter, all frost and flaky. I am cold like a keen-eyed blizzard. I have ice as skin, I am breakable. You can shift fragments of me into a snowstorm. I am thin, like the layer of sleep over Portland's October sidewalk. You can examine every inconsistent breath that escapes my expanding lungs. You can feel the hollow din of my rib cage, concealing a creature that could be mistaken as a heart, a purpose, a reason to live. My skin stretches over the canyon of my hip, skis over my stomach and dodges the sharp slopes of my rib cage, reaching over the mountain of my wide shoulders, dips into the valley of my collarbones. I am pale, so white I am transparent in these Arctic conditions. My hair has become a dry tundra wasteland, always so frail and malnourished. My mind turns foggy, and I transform into a stumbling avalanche as I crash over the hard linoleum floors, shattering bones and teeth. Bad weather conditions have shut down my organs until further notice. No detours for this winter, girl. Caution, slow down, hazard on the road, recovery always hidden internally, sleep it all off, hibernate until the moon and the sun look the same to me. Everything looks the same to me. I shovel my insides into neat, straight lines of ache so you can't see how much I ate. Drawing a smile in front of the frostbit window I keep in front of my face, wanting to be alone so my smile can run down my face into salty droplets. I hide my December from the ones who warm my spirit. Nobody will love me if I defrost. I try to keep them away. I don't want them to catch a cold. They tell me more bench, more sugar cookies, roast, hot cocoa littered with marshmallows. Sit by the fire, they say. It'll keep you warm. But I prefer the feeling of ice water rushing down into the empty well of my stomach. I am proud to be the coldest thing in a warm room. They don't understand that I like being winter. I worked hard to become this ice queen. I will not thaw. Why would I let them take my icicle throne away from me? They don't understand that nothing is worth melting for.
Yeah.
Woo! If you didn't notice, there's some Frozen reference in that poem. I really like this thing.
It started when I was really small, embryo-wise. I always listened to voices. You see, the voices were real. They weren't imaginary. They came from the honey-sweet radio. And ever since then, I've been in the college of listening. You see, we're taught to talk, but no one ever teaches us how to listen. And there's so many ways to listen with your whole body attentive, not just with the ears, because that age is gone. We're living in the age of iPhone. When I was young, knee-high, I listened to my elders, my ancestors, telling me stories. They'd tell me stories, I believed them, told stories of my ancestors and where I came from, Irish, French. You see, this story is just a story they told me. They said, where you come from does not define you, where you're going to, since the time represents every movement, motion through ages. You know quite well the pages of your life are torn, broken and strong. Well, I listened to them and I realized then that you were right all along. You gotta start your own. Wherever you are is this great territory. In this time and space, you choose to be in good company. And it will never be the same alchemy. Whatever way we put the DNA together, you see it's always different. Our destinies are always threaded like DNA, dolphins swimming in the ether. No matter where you go, you're always somewhere. And we're right here, hearing each other. oracles. I imagine all the people I've ever known are standing here and listening to you. There's young Morris Strangard, he says. Try and imagine a poet giving value for your time. Try and imagine a poet giving value for your mind. Over there's a Russian poet. Yevgeny Yevtushenko, he's saying, telling lies to the young is wrong. Telling the gods, he says, all's well with the world is wrong. The younger people, they know what you mean. Tell them the way is hard, the difficulties uncounted. Tell them you failed before, and will probably fail again. Tell them now, tell them often, otherwise young will not forgive us what we so readily forgave in ourselves. There's Rumi laughing down the back of the room. Out there's a space beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. Everything we've ever known, every line, every poem, every song is with us in our skin. It reverberates, and when we're really deeply listening, it comes back to us. It comes back and tells us things we didn't know that are in our dreams, little seeds of things, the harvest of our future imagining. And when we realize your life is a song, it's not very long, a haiku breath, suddenly death, the resurrection comes on, and you're all alone, you were someone else, listening to this song.
Thank you. That's one of, you improv that, didn't you? Yeah, one of my favorite improv poems of yours so far. Magic Jack, are you ready to attack? Perfect. I get to talk. Oh, actually, if you guys don't mind, I have a poem I want to read. Yay! It's kind of my ears to read poetry and listen to poetry. But while he's tuning, I'm going to go ahead. Yeah. Sorry. I'm going to be a little selfish. Okay. This poem I wrote, it's a historical poem, which I've never done before, but it's from the Salem witch trials.
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's the year of 1692. Salem's court was built on Puritan interpretation of the Bible. Men wove lies into the seats they sat their entitlement on, painted the walls in shades of innocent blood, built torturing devices under the church's foundation, claiming God hates witches and women and they should be left voiceless. Misogyny and fake representation created an atmosphere that poisoned the city with crippling anxiety. Independent women so foreign to these men, they claimed it as witchcraft. Men stripping and shaving women in fear they might find the devil's mark, the mark unable to bleed or feel pain, poking and prodding women's bodies. Claiming she had sex with Satan, autographed his personal book, married the man named Lucifer, that women's lust possessed them until they weren't holy enough to deny his request. The original, she asked for it. 1770, Britain banned lipstick, claiming women used it to seduce men. It was considered witchcraft. 7 girls diagnosed with bewitchment after Tivida, a household slave, glorified witches, filled the girls' minds with witch stories, spells, sewed matching voodoo dolls for each of them, taught them to write their name using the devil's book. She taught them that they could have power, independence, a voice, if they were willing to pay the price. Girls learned to make a hanging rope and tried it out on the town, faked screams, fits, shaking, killed innocent lives so they could be a somebody. Women hung by the fabric of Puritan society until their breath could not plead innocence. Witches trialed by drowning. Real witches could float. Innocent would sink to their death and allow the water seeping in their lungs to choke out the words, guilty until proven innocent. No fire burnt these witches' bodies, just the fear of hell's depths, just the fear that God would reject them, cast them away like their town and city did. 24 dead, 19 hung, 1 pressed into confession, 4 rotted in prison cells. This is what twisted scripture does to a society. It strings out the truth. The Salem witch trials killed 24 people when only 9 were rightfully tried. And on a dark note, I'm sorry, totally took your time. There you go, Jack. You ready?
Yep.
Ready to attack?
I am.
Awesome.
baloney.
This is a song about being there for someone else, or maybe someone else was there for you. It's called On My Way. When you need a place to hide away, you just call and say, I'm on my way. On my way, on my way. On my way, on my way. Rest your heart, rest your heart. Take all the time you need, take all the time you want. Rest your heart, rest your heart. It's gonna be just fine, it's gonna be alright. Yeah. When that road gets heavy and the road gets long, you won't be doing wrong. No, you won't be doing wrong. When your heart is sinking from the heavy undertow, you know to come. Yeah. hear that song, you got to
I wrote another one.
Another one? Wow. That
All
two
right.
or three in one night?
2 in one night.
Oh,
The first
okay.
one I wrote before.
All right.
All right. I broke my mirror this afternoon, but in fairness, it broke me first. I must have been looking at a photograph. I must have been looking at a lie. How could I be breathing on the outside when on the inside I've died? After all, my mind has been mangled, my nose should be bloody, my heart has been shattered, my jaw should be too. Sticks and stones have broken my bones. She bashed my face in, throwing boulders, piling until I can barely breathe, strangling me, yet leaving no marks. My face cannot be the same. The mirror is a fucking liar, and that is why I broke it.
Whoa! Whoa!
That was, keep them coming. I was writing down and like putting them in a book, like, what's the date?
19.
19th. May 19th, the poetry book. And then you just like throw the poems in there and sell them for like $1 million. Do it. Okay, maybe not $1 million, that's a little exaggeration. Anyway, up next we have...
I like that.
Okay, this one is actually inspired by my nephew, who's a really fascinating kid, because he has a learning impairment, so a lot of people think he's really dumb. But he's like, Granddad, this is the trophy generation. And my dad was like, what? And he said, you know, no one tries anymore, they just kind of show up, and so people don't get their feelings hurt, they give everyone trophies. Wow. And so I wrote a poem about it. It's called Golden Figurines. This one is for the trophy generation, for the gold and silver figures plaguing the nation, and behind the celebration we see the gestation of something we could not anticipate, as something we would try to negate with hate and claim that at any rate we feel the good fate, but please do not participate. I could bury a village alive beneath the golden figurines atop the plethora of trophies I have collected over my 2 decades. Soccer trophies, bike trophies, semi-finals rewards, participation award wooden plaques that are only good for throwing at someone's head if they broke into my house. And enough ribbons to hang myself with 20 times. In the trophy generation, we see the creation of a flawed civilization and the extermination of passion, destruction of the connection between hard work and accomplishment. The trophy generation is home to the participation award, to the do it half-assed award, to the just show up and get an award. These words go out to our trophy generation, because we have not come to the realization that awarding participation puts materialistic value on hard work and dedication, and really someone's work needs no confirmation from a trophy. What happened to the satisfaction from the raw actualization of a dream? What happened to the reincarnation of our souls into something we never thought that we could be? What happened to the termination of that self-doubt, the culmination of confidence? What happened to shooting for the moon? Are the stars no longer good enough? What happened to our generation? Through the confusion and disillusion of dedication, deterioration has hit us hard. We would rather show up for the participation award than reach for something bigger if that bigger something is something that we can't hold in our hands. We, the trophy generation, have forgotten the rich taste of glory, a taste that a trophy can't teach.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna do 2. One's original and one's from a poet named Stefan. I'm gonna do mine first. That's a little shorter. Whatever keeps the pace from running dry is those
those unassuming walls that passes through every other human being we ever known, but never loved as much as the last.
Sometimes that one's broken too. Couple words to be on set.
Go crazy, Nick.
Alright, this is a shortened down poem from the man himself, Stefan.
You're the reason I have a mic cover, by the way.
I live down the street from here. You noticing me, I've never seen you. Wondering what the fuck I do. Listen up, you noisy bitch. Listen close. My most recent purchase, old black room, gotta learn how to tie it. Hanging in my chamber, perfect reminder. Cold I made up. Come try out whatever you wanna. Last night, 3:30 in the morning, that's on my porch. Can feel him itching to take. Hell, that fuck you waiting for? Like a question no one mentioned. He turns around, asks me his fuck, and he says, you said I do this pushing. It's been a pleasure.
Teapot.
Teapot. Okay. You're short and stout, Colin.
I am. But she can pour out your poetry.
Okay.
No.
The art of pouring something deeper than black tea is a white tea of a page. As I pour out the words, a hot breath on a hot pen that melts the ink into nothing but syllables. The syllables that are full of a glass as I drink. As I drink fully, the steam tickles my nose. The senses, more adjectives come alive and tickle my skin, and my eyes become alive, full of the caffeine and full of the warmth that flows from my throat, that was from words from which I first spoke, down to my hands I could write after, only I spoke for so long. I spoke longer than a cup of tea, and I spoke longer than a cup of coffee. I spoke longer than a pot of tea. I finished my glass and poured another. I poured another hint of sanity that I find at the end of every sip. As every sip is a quiet slurp, every slip is a quiet nodding to the next page. White tea, black tea. Those are just the mixtures. Maybe one day I'll try green tea.